What is a shinobi? Any person with a heart called to serve, whose discipline has made them dangerous, is hereby titled Shinobi. These are their stories. What's up, my ninjas? We are live and in studio. Welcome back to Shinobi Chronicles, hosted by Zero Abyss.
Naseem King.
Our goal here is always to provide inspiration, education, and motivation to our fellow shinobi who are walking the path of greatness through achievement and service. As always, it's our great honor to serve you all, and so we will not disappoint you. I hope y'all have been pursuing your highest selves over this last week. Today, we're going to be breaking down Transcendent Living, discussing the never-ending war against temptations, and then lastly, we'll be giving some open thoughts to the public. Naseem, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, bet that, man. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So we want to talk about transcendent living, and I got a story where I'm going to jump right into it. I remember my first time playing DOA 5, Dead or Alive. You know that because it was you and them that introduced me to DOA. I remember we downloaded it, and it was a limited roster because it was like a free demo or whatever. So it was only like, 7, 8 characters, something like that we could use. I picked Rig, R-I-G. Y'all know what it is, Rig. I got to using him a little bit, and he was a heavy kick character, you know. Rig had them kicks, but got to using him, did my own little trainings or whatever, played with my brothers, so on and so forth, played with you, and I got to feeling like I was pretty solid with Rig. I thought I was cool, just feeling myself, smelling it a little bit. I remember we hopped on with line and we played with our boy Terrell, and he also was a Rig guy. And I was like, okay, so let's match up, Rig on Rig, see what goes down. Needless to say, goddamn, flashbacking right now, flashbacking bad. I got kicked across the map. Like, you remember DOA, you could kick a nigga through the walls, you could kick him through the roof, through the floor.
Environment, everything.
Jesus Christ, I'm pretty sure I got kicked through walls, ceilings. Terrell probably kicked me down through the floor and then kicked me back up through the roof and some shit. I got kicked all across the map, okay? I got outrigged bad, like it wasn't pretty. So, we're complimenting this game and whatnot, and he tells us essentially every game he plays that he starts out on the highest difficulty. So I'm sitting there and I flash back to all the games that I had played that I started, and I'm having these moments watching myself pick that easy difficulty, like
easy and long way hit. You gotta go for the hardest.
So then in an effort to respect myself more, I flash back to all the times I started the game and I hit normal. And it didn't work, okay? Needless to say, I didn't respect myself all that much afterwards, but I did have quite the respect for Terrell, and I had an understanding of why he was so good at every game he touched. Because imagine, I think I've been playing video games since my brother was 2 or something, so maybe I was 8. Let's call it 2nd grade, right? That's when I got my first PS2, whatever. But that whole time I've been playing on normal or easy, and maybe like if I really like the game, you go back, you run it on difficult. But imagine if all that whole time, like, I've been playing it on highest difficulty, like our boy Terrell had. Maybe it wouldn't have been me getting rigged up on him, but whatever. The point of the story, why I wanted to bring this up, is to say this. Transcendent people do what's hard. That's why their lives are easy. People who are suffering do what's easy. That's why their lives are hard. What does that really mean? What does that really mean?
Basically, start off doing the hardest thing for yourself to make it easy in life. So, for example, we both trying to retire before 30.
On me.
So we got to do all the hard stuff.
Yes,
we
sir.
did it kind of late because we have no mentors and like that for real. But we're doing all the hard stuff now. And later on, we can just chill out. So, but if you do all the easy stuff now, there's still the hard things in life, and you still gotta continue doing it, messing up your own life, shorten your own lifespan, just doing been stressing yourself out for real, but
more or less, yeah. I mean, I like the way Mark Manson put it. He has a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. You actually gave it to me. But he makes the point that suffering in and of itself is unavoidable. In this human life, you will suffer. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you can choose to do is suffer for a meaning or a purpose. He says that you have to choose your suffering so that it has value and meaning. Essentially meaning, I'll give you an example. When we be going to the gym, the day, during, and after, we be hurt. The soreness, the fatigue, like that's suffering in and of itself. But it's a suffering that we choose that has meaning, you know, because we want to like the way we look, goddammit. Flex on, flex on.
Flex.
However, what happens if you choose not to go to the gym? You choose the easy route instead of the hard route. Well, you get the benefit of not, you know, you won't be fatigued, you won't have the soreness, you know, and so on and so forth. You don't have to burn that energy, but then you're gonna look in the mirror and hate the way you look. That's suffering in and of itself.
No more chunky boy hours. No more chunky boy hours.
Hey, another example is how you eat. You know, you can go through the more difficult tasks, getting groceries, eating healthy, choosing less sugar, so on and so forth, drinking more water instead of soda. It might be harder because, hey, soda good, juice good. However, it's a suffering with a purpose. It has a meaning. You know, I'm choosing that healthy route because it's doing me benefit. Whereas, and you choose to go chunky boy hours, you're going to hate the way you look. So that's the choice of suffering, you know. Like Mark Manson said, when you choose to suffer for a purpose, suffering for a cause, suffering for a meaning, it's bearable. You can make it through that. You know, we can continue reading even though it might get boring. We can continue lifting even though it hurts. We can keep making healthy choices. We can keep pursuing our gifts. And the hardships have value because we've chosen that suffering. We've given them meaning. Whereas when you take the easiest possible route, you know, you just do the bare minimum, the suffering that you receive on the other hand is unbearable. You can't take it. You know, there's people, big depression, you've discussed your own self, fighting that depression. And that's what happens when you're suffering with no meaning, you know. Any examples you can think of, experiences, you know, just bring anything to mind to your heart, call it to you? Anybody you know that's suffering more than they need to?
A generic suffering that we all go through. I ain't gonna say all, because there's some people that don't. But a job. Even though you're getting money, like you don't want to be there.
Oh, no, you don't.
They pay you, they underpay you.
Very underpaid.
That's just suffering right there. Like annoying suffering. Like nobody wants to do all that. And then you gotta deal with customers too, and that's unfortunate because that's us. Like another human making it harder or worse or just ruining your day. Why is it like that? I don't know, but yeah, that's one little example. A job, that's all I can think of right now.
He's got a good point though, but same thing that we've already said. When you choose that suffering for a purpose, you know, if you have something that you're chasing, something that you're using this job for, some type of mission that you're after, somehow it gives you the strength that you need to go after it. I won't say it makes it easier because I'm not gonna fake it. When that alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning, it's never any easier to get out of bed. I promise it's not. However, it gives you the strength that you need to persevere through that, you know, suffering for a meaning. I'm always constantly saying that this was gonna be my last job, you know, and that I'm gonna be here until I've done what I need to do to move on. You know, I see it as a stepping stone, but because I have a plan, I have a mission, I have an understanding for why I'm here. You know, I can see it as that stepping stone. I can't knock down just today, worry about tomorrow. But easy enough to say, it's not easy to lock in, to go to the gym, to study, to learn, to meditate for a couple minutes, to pray, to remain positive in the face of all this negativity. It's not easy at all. But the road worth the time is never easy. You know, I've seen it said before where they go, if everybody had six-pack abs, you were just born with them. You didn't have to work for them. It was just real easy. All you had to do was make it a 25 or something, make it 18, whatever. If everybody had six-packs abs, nobody would be like, oh man, I want to get these abs, man, I want to work for it, because it would be no value. Everybody has the things that everybody wants, that 1% lifestyle. it's only worth it because it's earned. I think we mentioned that in a previous episode too before. The things that are worth it have to be earned. If everybody could have the things that you wanted, you wouldn't want them. It's because it's earned that it's really coveted. Hey, so I'm gonna just run it back one more time. Transcendent people do what's hard. That's why their lives are easy. People who are suffering, they are out here doing what's easy all the time, and that is why their lives are hard. Don't miss that.
Look at it, no, our boy Terrell that was hooking us up. The way he trained was, we got another friend named Freddie. He was a DALA lover. He was all over this. Terrell was talking all shit. He was like, I'll beat your ass in the beginning. He fought Freddie and Freddie beat his ass. And the way he got better was because Freddie beat his ass every single day. And
I trust me, that was hard.
yes, and shoot, Freddie still wins out of everybody. But that's when I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on the game and start training under him. Get my ass beat like it, I'm like, okay, bro, you ain't gotta do all that. Because once you start like turning up just a little bit, he like, all right, sit down now. And they're like, all right, okay.
And man, those of y'all that's gamers, especially competitive gamers, it's not, losing is already tough. Getting your ass beat.
No, the enemy is not even trying with you.
Getting that ass beat every single day. That type of perseverance, that don't come from nowhere, and it is incredibly hard. Maybe it's not hard on your body, but that's hard on your spirit and your mental. It is taxing. But did you hear what he said? He went through that hardship. He went through that fire. And what did he do? Then he was ready to kick me all across. I didn't have a fire. Look, I'm not like them. I ain't training like that. Okay, I can only get my ass beat like 2-3 times in a row. When you start beating my ass 5-10 times in a row, I'm gonna retire. I gotta move on to something different. I'm not gonna fake it. My brother was on Dragon Ball Fighters. We was on that mud. Yes, look, we was on that mud. And it was cool at first. Like, it was pretty evenly matched, me and my brother was. So I ain't mind playing with him. We get on there, set it the best of 4 wins. I love the best of 7 series. I'm an NBA fan, so we would go our best of 7 series. And when it was competitive, it was cool. Then suddenly, like, my brother, he got on YouTube, picked up some extra tips. Dude was playing online. Came back, he was better. He was sweeping me. I did not want to play with that man. I'm not gonna fake it. I couldn't play no more because if I don't believe that I have a chance to be competitive with you, I'm not gonna sit back and get my ass. Well, I'm gonna just go find something else to do. Okay, I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest. It hurt my soul getting swept up by my little brother like that. Cause I remember the days when I used to sweep him up. I know it was unfair because I'm the big brother. I had him about 6 years, but happens to the best of us, so it's all right. And every so often, I do still hop on fighters with him or whatever. He's rusty now, so it'd be a little more competitive. But for a good month there, I couldn't play Dragon Ball Fighters with that man because it wasn't worth it to me. I wasn't about to be getting my ass beat. Okay, so those of y'all that have the perseverance to go through, hey, it is worthy, it's worth it. But the path less traveled, the place that you really want to go, it is the tougher path. Transcendent people do what's hard. It's why their lives are easy. Okay, so if you feel like you're going through it, it's because you ain't working hard enough.
Yeah, don't let that boy hit you with his catchphrase too. I heard a lot of shit talk. Stick talk.
A lot of. Hey, no cap. I used that phrase today. I said, man, and it wasn't even a gaming quote, but we was doing a lot of shit talking. I said, girl, I hear a whole lot of shit talking. Don't see no stick talk. Okay, I see all this, but don't see none of that. All right. All right, so we're gonna jump right into the second segment. All we want to do is discuss fighting temptations, and this parlays back into what we've already discussed because that easier path, it is so tempting, boy. Ain't nothing like a lazy Sunday, goddamn me, okay? When the couch calls, and then you answer the call, and then y'all stay on the phone all damn day. Look, but straight up, what's easy is always tempting, okay? It's easy to skip the gym. I promise, hey, we do it sometimes, it happens, but it's easy to skip the gym, man. It's nice to go have some extra chocolate bars instead of whatever healthy option you might want, okay? It's cool to go grab a best soda. It tastes so good, too. It tastes so good, okay? You can always watch another video on YouTube. It's casual, it's big easy to go take you a nap, man. And it's tempting. It calls on you. It pulls way more. When you have the option, like we stay using the gym for an example, but it's so universal. But still, when you have the option, I could go in here and torture my muscles in my body, get my heart rate pumping, be exhausted and sweaty by the end, or I could go home, climb into bed. Which one sound nicer? Which one calls you more? Which one pulls them heartstrings? Obviously, the chilling, the easy route, okay? When you're, I could go take a nap, I'm real tired, or I could try to, read this book or whatever for 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever it might be. Which one's gonna call you? The easier one, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peterson, he had this quote. I love Jordan Peterson, he's a great philosopher. Jordan Peterson, he had this quote, and I'm gonna botch it a little bit, but it's close enough. But he says, that evil often appears to look more good than the true good, lest it wouldn't be tempting. And that's a good point. There's all kinds of histories where they say guys like Hitler and Stalin and so on and so forth, like some of the most evil guys in history, they say that they were all operating under the pretext that they were doing good. They were fighting for what's right. Now, personally, I don't know how one can justify genocide, but we're not going to get into that philosophical debate. But regardless, the point that Jordan Peterson was making is that evil will tempt you by looking like the best option, by seeming like the best option. Like it's gonna look just as good, if not better, than the true good thing, So you always gotta be aware of that, They make candy bars look so good. Mm-hmm. I know why kids be stealing. They make candy bars look so good, all colorful and shit. Then they got pictures of the chocolate. And they put it right there. They haven't put it up here where the kid gotta ask you to grab. They put it right down there, like knee level, where the kids can pick it up, throw it in their pocket real quick. Evil looks so good, man. Like, what can you do about it, man? What can you do about it? But you got a story, man. I know you do. Tell us when you was tempted, man. Tell us when you was tempted, and don't put a date on it.
All right, this is a temptation that basically all men go through. You can't tell me you don't go through it. Ain't no way. You a lie. So you can be a man. You can be in a committed relationship or whatever. Though people might argue it's not committed if you doing all this. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But men are physical creatures. So we look at a lot of things. So women, if they got a nice little ass, they looking good, got their nails did, all this stuff, like we're going to look.
Can't help yourself
sometimes. Sometimes like you can't help it. So, you could be out by yourself, not with your girl or anything. And you can see this fine little piece of thing coming through. Man, you just staring, but it's somebody you know. And you have to talk to them too. Yeah, got a little history and everything else. So they're like, it's been a long time. Come in for a hug, squeeze you real tight. And like, dang, it's kind of feel nice.
That blood starts to pump down. I'm talking about it.
For real, like that kind of temptation, the seduction of a woman, man. Ooh-wee. And for the niggas who always get caught lacking too, man, the ones that end up cheating or something just because they trying to get some of that ass, it's just all bad. It's all bad. Like all men go through this. Not the cheating part. Not everybody cheats. I'll say that now. But when you come across a woman, like, dang, now I'm trying to see what that's about. Like,
sure do be.
For real. And then eventually the nigga could see what that's about.
Get caught lacking.
Mm-hmm. So it was a long relationship over there. And the girl probably not even gonna fuck with him afterward too still. So you just fuck up your own relationship. That's evil.
Lost your girl and lost your playgirl too.
That's what the devil does. The devil seduces you to doing wrong. Like you said, the evil often looks better than the truth. Like, stick with your girl. She with you, staying loyal and shit. Do the same.
I mean,
yeah, that's one of them at least.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm a strong believer in balance. It's necessary. You gotta have that guilty pleasure. I like to call it my meetings with the devil. Because people offer me like, oh, you want some candy? You want a cupcake? Where? Blah blah blah. And when I'm trying to say no, I'll go, nah, sugar is the devil. Then you catch me like the next day, next week, having me or whatever. I probably got caught by some rips or something. Some fucking Jolly Rancher right here. Don't get me started on the strawberry shortcake. But regardless, you catch me up and then I thought sugar was the devil. Look, man. We all human, okay? we are divine beings having a human experience, all right? I gotta have my meetings with the devil too, okay? And it ain't, I'm not gonna say there's nothing wrong with it, but you have to find your necessary balance. And you gotta find what really works for you. When you're chasing 1% status, you're trying to get, to that upper tier, you're gonna have to decline your meetings with the devil more often than 99% of other people, real talk. Does that mean that you can't never have your meetings? No, because nobody is completely virtuous, nobody's perfect, but choosing your balance, choosing your suffering, just saying no to temptation sucks. That's a level of suffering on its own. Like, as he just described, when you're a man, you're in a committed relationship, things going right with your girl, or maybe things are hard with your girl right now.
Oh, that's the worst time.
On me. You at work, the old work flirt come through, squeeze you up, and you say no, it hurts. It hurts here and it hurts there. You be like, so why didn't I just take the bait? It's not easy, but like I said, you gotta choose your necessary balance. Have your meetings where you have them, but think about what you're doing, It sucks to fight temptation, that's the suffering, but if you got meaning for it, hey, I'm declining this for the good of my relationship so I can build a stronger connection with my girl. It's for a purpose, it's gonna give you the strength to go through it. Whereas, if there's no meaning to it, although I don't know who does that. I don't think there's any man that gets tempted by a woman, he ain't got nothing going on, he doesn't say yes, so let's be honest. But, it's not just women that are the temptation. Women go through temptation too. Women can go through temptation from men. They got it easier than, they got it harder than we got it to some capacity because their optionality is so much higher. Thanks to social media, I've heard the concept brought up that, somebody said that social media has actually greatly contributed to the downfall of relationships because girls have infinity options now. There's hundreds of dudes in their DMs. So at any moment they can convince themselves that, man, the grass is gonna be greener over there, and then there's nothing but a DM to go, and that's a real thing. So everybody goes through the temptations, and to decline temptations is its own level of suffering. But as Mark Manson said, when you're suffering with a purpose, with a meaning for a reason, it gives you the strength to get through it. So, Any other thoughts?
No.
Cool. We're gonna slide right into some open thoughts to the public. The other day, actually yesterday, I was in the elementary school principal's office and I saw a picture, and she had it framed actually, but it said, a sign of a good leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. And I thought that was glorious. You can actually also pick that up out of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Great winter book, Paper Gold is my hashtag for like winning books, Paper Gold. But that was just really on my heart because we do live in this social media culture, and it'll convince you, followers, and even though you can get all them bot followers, but like followers don't mean anything. And like the quote says, I'm a good leader, not just anybody who's putting on the hat, but a good leader is not in how many followers you have, but in how many other leaders you create. Leaders create other leaders, So even in this podcast, as we're sharing our thoughts and our experiences, as we're sharing what we're learning, our goal isn't really just to have people watching us just to watch us. If we can create new thought leaders, hey, that would really do it for me. People that take something out of this and use it to become their own Shinobi. So, you got any quick thoughts?
Yeah. Piggybacking on what you said, I believe you told me this. Men like to teach. So, for example, if I come across a little youngin, I work with him or anything like that, if I'm around him a lot, and I see that they're lost in a lot of things, they need guidance or experience and stuff that I have experience in, I'm like, oh, I'll put you on my back, I got you. I'll teach you all this stuff you need to know. For example, one of my coworkers, my little partner Jay, he had no experience with a girl, which at the time when I was talking to him, I didn't have too much experience myself, but after reading the Art of Seduction,
Robert Greene.
Yes sir.
Tap in, Paper Gold.
After reading the Art of Seduction, observing other people talk to females and all this stuff, I learned to incorporate that into my own little everyday life. I didn't notice it, but you called it, you was like, hey man, that's what the book I told you about. Like, really? So once you get that information, like you naturally start doing things based off the information. But yeah, like stuff like that, I put him on my back, taught him the ways. Now he's doing that stuff, and now he's doing better and stuff. Like, shoot, okay, might be better than me. But at the moment, I'm gonna be talking with everybody. Get that right. But yeah.
Naseem King, ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't nobody gonna stop me but a God. And shoot, nobody's gonna stop me but a God. But yeah, that's an example for a good leader. I'm usually not a leader myself unless I'm teaching the youngins, but I usually just follow and watch other people. I also think it's a good leader. A good leader listens to the people behind them or the people around them and stuff. So yeah, that's all.
Indeed, you do. It's not about just what you think, what you want to do. Like, if as a leader, if you're in an environment where nobody is willing to challenge you, and I'm not saying like they gotta fight you or like argue with you, but you say, oh, everybody think that's a good idea, and the room is silent. Nobody's telling you like, oh, we could do better here, or this might be a good idea too. That's a problem. You want to be in an environment where people are willing to cultivate thoughts that you didn't have. You're not gonna have every thought. You're not gonna have every idea, but the people next to you, beside you, around you, they're gonna have some good contributions too. So as a leader, that's why, again, I say, it's not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. A good leader, like you said, is also a follower too, because potentially you likely have some type of leader. Even if your leader is just your divine being, you know, if you're a good pastor is following God, he's still a follower to somebody, so on and so forth. And likewise, you should be building the leaders that come on behind you. And as they develop and you're able to instill responsibility and trust in them and whatnot, the things that they have to offer to you mentally, you know, their suggestions, their ideas and whatnot, like you should be taking those into consideration, because an organization is never just the person at the top. It's not just the head, it's just not the top dog. You know, organization is composed of all its parts, and they all got to be functioning. It's one organism. So, like he said, a good leader is going to be pulling from all kinds of sources. The people ahead of them, whomever they may follow, but they're also going to be tapping in with the leaders that come behind them. Another open thought that I had, most of these y'all will find are typically inspired. You know, it might just be something I've seen on Instagram, or like the other one was a frame in a principal's office. You know, wherever it might come from, it doesn't matter. But this one, if I'm not mistaken, it came from a Facebook post or Instagram. It was about Black Panther, and it showed T'Chaka, you know, Prince T'Challa's father, and then it also showed Killmonger, N'Jadaka, I believe was his Wakandan name, but it shows the villain of the movie, which was Killmonger, right? But then it says the actual villain, and it shows T'Challa's father, and the quote goes, "The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth." And I say that one on my phone because it touched me. And, I really do believe that, you know, especially after we reading Healing Wisdom of Africa, man. Paper gold, we got it in the room right now. It's marinating, but paper gold. But it speaks on the importance of community. You know, everything in the indigenous mindset, paper gold, everything in the indigenous mindset is basically about community and the connections that we have, that we cultivate, you know, and not just your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your uncle. It's in how you treat your neighbors, how you treat the man at the shop, you know, the blacksmith. There, you know, in an indigenous culture, they celebrate every single birth, after every pregnancy, because it's not just, oh, that family's having another kid. The way that they see it, Spirit is providing a new gift in the form of a person, you know, to benefit the community as that person grows up, matures, and is mentored, and so on and so forth. Whatever their gift is, they're not going to just be a great artist. You know, they're art for community. Or if they're a healer, they're a doctor of some sort. You know, it's not just for a title or a paycheck because they want to be a doctor. You know, they're healing their people. But that communal mindset really is a place that Western culture is dying for. We need it desperately, to be honest with you, because people don't seem to understand. I mean, some people do. The consciousness is raising, but if Earth is one organism, and it really is, just one cell, and it's at war with itself, we little parts of this one big cell, it's doomed. It really is. But if we took these material resources that we have, and well, trust me, we have more than enough. Like we could end world hunger tomorrow if that was our mission, and apply that indigenous culture where we're all looking out for each other, where every child in the village is everyone's child, where every grandparent in the village is everybody's grandparent, you know, where we're all mentoring each other, helping each other, lifting each other up. We could create heaven on earth right now. I just want to put that out there. It could be done. We have the resources. It's that connection between people that we haven't really got yet. But yeah, just to circle back, the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Don't forget that, man. Always look out for each other. And then last little open thought that I had. This one came out of a post I seen on the wall in the high school. It says, a good friend knows your stories. In fact, it says a good friend knows all your stories. A best friend helped you write them. So I just wanted to take that as an opportunity. Shout out to my boy Naseem King, man. Like, it's been like, what is it, 12 years now? We've been rolling since 14, man. Dude didn't help me write damn near every story I've got. Maybe not every story, you know, because everybody got to get it off in the cut on their own. But y'all get the point of it, you know. Somebody you good with, they gonna know a lot about you. But somebody that you really been through the mud with, that was with you in the trenches, your day ones, those are your best friends. So that's my last open thought. Any more open thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Well, they're your best friends on your day ones, but those day twos, those big friends are important too.
They are.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, that's about it out of me.
All right. Well, I think we are about ready to wrap up. So, anyways, like I said before, it's been our great honor to be able to serve you all. If you made it this far, we definitely want to say thank you for listening to the end. We came to this platform to be able to serve others who are striding down the path of greatness. And it's those of you who lend your time and your ears that make that possible. Whatever platforms you're consuming on, be sure to like this episode, participate in any digital polls you might come across, subscribe to our channel for more insights on the life of a modern shinobi. Also, just don't forget to connect with us on Instagram, TikTok. That's where you're going to find our short form content. And lastly, if there's anyone that you'd like to see on the show, anyone at all that you'd like for us to collaborate with, hey, reach out to them, whether it's in their comments, shoot them a DM, whatever you got to do, and let them know that you want to see them working with us. I'm going to say this week after week. Content creators create for their fans. One more time. Content creators create for their fans. So when you tell your favorite creators that you want to see a collaboration, that's what gets their attention pointed our way. So be sure to shout us out to whomever else that you're watching and listening to. And with that, I hope everybody's having a great day. And remember, choose with your actions today who you're going to be tomorrow. Will you be greater than yesterday?